I went to a Bible study tonight because I wanted to, because I was feeling kind of spiritually hungry. And I've been in kind of a mood lately for the last several days, at least, maybe over a week or two now. Just kind of grumpiness and irritability. I don't know, maybe it's the stress of the holidays. You know how you get just kind of grumpy and irritable and cranky and nothing can make you happy? That's kind of how I've been. And I feel like I'm just waiting for God to do something in my life. I get like this every once in a while, and it's usually right before God does something amazing in my life, and I'm changed forever, and I look forward to it, but right now I'm just in a time of waiting for God to do something in me. So, anyway, I went to this Bible study tonight, and it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of people there that I didn't know. I knew a lot of them, though. And so anyway, we were talking about our testimonies and whatever, and I started talking about mine, and I wanted to thank God for... and it's really good to thank God. I'm really glad that we talked about our testimonies tonight, because, you know, especially when you get stressed out and distracted, it's really easy to just forget about God and neglect Him and forget what He's done for you and forget what you should be thankful for and grateful for. And when you start talking about your testimonies and things that God has done for you in life, you really learn to appreciate what you have and what He's done. So I'm very, very glad that we talked about our testimonies tonight. And it was really great to hear other people's testimonies of what God has done in their lives too. So anyway, I was talking about mine. It came to be my turn, and so I said, you know, pretty much everybody knows about my SSA, and so I said, you know, if I hadn't been saved, I probably would have gone down the road to become a flaming homosexual man, and that's probably what I would be right now if God had not intervened. And I said that I was probably going to be the effeminate one in a relationship. I was going to play the part of the woman, basically. And I was just like, yeah, that's just what I was saying. And this person laughed at me for a while, like, just kept laughing. Yeah, that really sucked. Having somebody laugh at me because of my problem. It's happened before. I mean, I'm used to being... I wouldn't say I'm used to it, but I've had people point me out, humiliate me, and laugh at me, and criticize me because of my SSA before. It doesn't really get easier when people do it. And it really doesn't get easier when it's somebody who is a Christian who does it. So I was inspired tonight, rather than becoming bitter and angry over this, I want to use this as something positive. I have forgiven this person. I know this person. I've known this person for a while, and I've forgiven this person, and it's over. I'm moving on. So that's it. But I wanted to say, for those of you who may not know, if you're a Christian especially, it's generally not a good idea to laugh at people, especially in a group, especially if you're a Christian, and especially about a problem that they're having, and especially if they are using that problem to give thanks to God. So, yeah, I'm just going to talk to the Christians right now. If you're a Christian, you are really held to a higher standard of excellency. And I expect you to not laugh at people's problems. Now, I don't know what kind of standard of excellence you hold yourself to, but I think most of society and God expect you to at least not laugh at people, or to publicly humiliate them. I think that's the bare minimum you can do. Instead, what can you do? You can love them. You can be friendless with them. You can help them out. You can encourage them. You can bless them. You can pray for them. You can give them a hug. You can say, thanks for coming tonight. I'm glad you're here. That's an awesome testimony. Say something nice to them. But don't just criticize them or laugh at them or whatever, because that's not going to help anything. However, I realize that there are other people here watching this video right now who are probably in my position, where you are the one who has been laughed at, the one who's been criticized, the one who has been humiliated. And I want to encourage you to forgive. Know that forgiveness is a process, but it's an important process, and you need to forgive anybody who's hurt you, because if you don't forgive, then you're just going to hold on to that anger and that bitterness, and that's not going to do anybody any good. So, let's put this behind us, shall we? And move on and try to build a better relationship. I think it's so important to look past people's faults and their problems and see who they are really on the inside. And so whether you're Christian or not, whether you are gay or straight, I think it's very important for you to do this, because regardless of where you stand on any of these things, religion or sexual orientation or anything, it's so important to build relationships, good relationships. And if you hold bitterness in and don't forgive, or if you criticize people or exact a revenge on people for hurting you, or if you neglect people or ignore people or avoid people or laugh at people or whatever, that's not doing a whole lot to build good relationships. And it is through relationships that you find deeper meaning in life. It's through relationships that God speaks to us. God wants a relationship with us, and so an example of God's relationship with us is our relationship with each other. So try to build those good relationships. Alright, I've run out of things to say, so I love you. Have a good night, and thanks for watching.